What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Skate 4, or simply Skate as it's known as nowadays, and where it stands in 2025 after its official release. So, the whole reason I really wanted to make this video is because I have never played Skate 3, and I wanted to give my opinion on the current state of Skate, how I feel about the game, how I felt about the game, coming from somebody that has never played basically any of the Skate games. So, with there being apparently over a decade of waiting, do fans of the franchise like it? Are they getting what they're asking for? And the question is, like, how's the game shaping up so far? Is it living up to the hype? Is it worth playing? Should I tell more people about this game? You know, with all that being said, I'm Sleep Potion, and let's get into this. First, let me give a little bit of context for those who might not be familiar. The Skate series was a pretty groundbreaking and quite nostalgic collection of games that have come out that first dropped in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. The game was developed by EA Black Box, and the franchise was beloved for its realistic physics, the smooth controls, flick stick in Skate 3. I know that's peak. And unique approach to skateboarding in general. Skate 3 came out in 2010, and then since then, radio silence. Fans were left wondering if they'd ever get a new game, and for a long time, it seemed, honestly, like Skate was pretty much dead. There was nothing. No announcements, no teasers, just the franchise disappearing into thin air. While fans kept playing Skate 3 for more than a decade, EA stayed completely silent. Until
Okay, it's been 11 years.
then, in 2020, after 10 years, I don't know if it was 11, years of silence, moment finally came. At EA Play, two developers appeared on the screen and said the words.
Truth is, it's early. We're still working on it.
You're joking. Has anyone seen gameplay?
No gameplay, no trailer, not even a logo. But it did not matter. The internet exploded. Skate 4 was real. The wait wasn't over, but the drought finally ended. Of course, this didn't mean that the game was anywhere near done. In fact, the devs were basically just starting. The newly formed studio Full Circle took over development. They showed early prototypes, blocky animations, rough physics. They said that they wanted to build the game with the community, which meant constant playtesting, feedback, and updates. Players saw everything: unfinished maps, placeholder animations, early mechanics. It was transparent, but it also meant the fans had to wait even longer. But then finally, after the announcement that they're working on it 4 years ago, we finally got something else. And it was driving everyone absolutely insane. The Skate Early Access Season 1 trailer. A big difference, as you can see, with Skate 4 now just being called Skate, with nothing else after it. It's a reboot, a new beginning, a free-to-play, cross-platform with a huge open-world city. The reaction on it? A little bit mixed. Some were excited, some were nervous, but whether you loved or hated the direction, one thing was clear. The wait was almost over. And they ended up giving early access to players to try out the game, give feedback for what they wanted and what they needed. And the feedback of what they wanted and what they needed surely came. Loads and loads of negative feedback, loads and loads of positive feedback. Surely was mixed. But once players started to play more and more, we started to really see how everybody felt about the game. And that brings us to today.
I'm really excited for the new movie, I exclaimed with excitement. Little did I know, it would be a feature, a creature feature, featuring the creature.
So as I've said before, I haven't played basically any skate game. Maybe a little bit here and there, randomly from either a friend or something along those lines. I honestly don't remember playing skate, but I have about 75 hours now in this game. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but between, you know, a brand new game, because I've never really played any, figuring everything out, having fun, meeting new friends, streaming with it, it seemed very, very interesting to me, and I quite enjoyed it. A little bit too much, I guess you could say. It started out with me just being like, oh, look, Skate. It just came out. It's free to play. Why is it called Skate and not Skate 4? Which is another reason why I decided to make this video. And honestly, I got a little bit burnt out after a bit. It seemed repetitive. It seemed smaller than it looked, I guess you could say. Because if you take a look at the map, it seems massive, but in my opinion, it's a little linear. It just seems like there could be more packed in and not as many open spaces, which is crazy to say even looking at it, because it doesn't seem like that's what it would be, but it's just, that's how it feels, in my honest opinion. And you get to a point to where it's like either, you know, you're trying to find new stuff to do. The challenges, we'll get into that in just a second about the challenges and stuff, but you know, Skate just seemed weird after the first, I don't know, 15 hours. The story, all the glitches that were happening, you know, I've heard that people get stuck in Tutorial Island basically, which is kind of upsetting, but you know, the game is in early access. It can change. There may be plenty of people out there saying, yeah, it's a game in early access, it has a battle pass. You know, what game in early access do you know that has a battle pass? And I honestly don't know too many. I can't tell you. I've never really thought about it like that. But it didn't really bother me that that was there. It was a free-to-play game. Yeah, there's microtransactions, but honestly nowadays, especially with it being EA, you know that there's going to be microtransactions. It's going to happen. The fact is, you can spend money if you want. You don't have to spend money. It's either or. Like, it's not a pay to win. It's just cosmetic stuff. Which, I mean, I like cosmetics. It's quite nice. But going back to like the gameplay and such, you know, and what I was saying, I found so many friends, and I've developed like a new love for a skating game. Because I can't say skating games because I haven't played basically anything else other than this Skate. But it was nice. I liked it. But, you know, the more I see and the more that I watch of other people that either stream this game or make videos on this game, it's just like nothing but hatred. Talking about its Fortnite graphics or its unplayability. Honestly, to me, I liked the graphics. It did not seem that bad to me. Plus, if you didn't know, recently they announced that the Season 2 update with the visuals makes it look a little bit more realistic and gritty, which I do quite like. It looks a lot better than it does right now, okay? I'm not saying the graphics are 100% the best graphics, but it doesn't look Fortnite-y to me. It just looks like, you know, how games are nowadays. Not every single game has to be realistic with graphics. You know, it doesn't have to be what everybody thinks it should be. I know that's kind of weird to say, but like, you expect a new game, you expect more realistic graphics, you expect more diverse and like complex gameplay because it's the newest thing. It has to be the newest and the best, which not everything has to be the newest and the best. You know, it's been years since another Skate game came out, and they finally released Skate, which is honestly, in my opinion, kind of peak. And for somebody that's never played it, I've had so much fun with this game, and I can't wait to like see what more they're going to be doing with this game. There's a whole road ahead of it. They could easily fix the stuff in the game, but they could also easily mess it up or just not do anything about it, and it ends up being so much worse. getting back into the challenges and stuff with Skate, that's probably one of my biggest things and or negative feedback on this game, is that the challenges are very repetitive. And the line challenges, honestly, make me want I'm gonna lose my mind with the line challenges. I swear some of these challenges that they've come up with, I don't know who is making these challenges. I don't know if the people who made these challenges have tried these challenges, but some of them seem so stupid. And it's just like damn near impossible for the most part, which, you know, if you're really good at the game, maybe it's not impossible. But for somebody that's brand new and with the tutorial that really didn't tell me how to do much of anything but, you know, the complete basics, some of these things are like, what do you mean? You know, you got the connecting with everything on how sometimes it just doesn't work and such. And the challenges are just like, oh my god, why do I have to do this? You know, ugh. But it's, again, the beginning aspect of the challenges, what you have to do in the beginning and stuff, it's fine. It's whenever you're getting to the point to where you have to level everything up to get more, like, rip score for the area is when it's like, oh my god, please give me something better to do. Along the lines of, you know, the quote-unquote story and or campaign, I wish there was more, honestly, okay? I've seen all the clips of Skate 3 with Coach Frank and everything. You've seen it earlier in the beginning of the video. Everybody loves that. I also love Coach Frank. That's the dude from My Name is Earl. He's peak. I did not realize it was him at first, but that is absolutely amazing that he's in that game. W. But it's like, I want more of a story, you know? I want more of this story. I want more of people interactive stuff, not just going to a location and doing something, which is kind of annoying. But, you know, with all that being said, my honest thoughts are like, I still do enjoy this game. I still think that they can go into a direction that makes the game better. They could still add stuff for everybody to have hope for. You know, I know the concurrent player base has gone down quite a bit, which is upsetting in my opinion because of how many people downloaded it and played it at first. But, you know, there's still hope out there. That's honestly good in my opinion. It's possible. You know, this has the goods, it has the bads. I could go on and on talking more and more. I just don't want this to be a, you know, 45-minute video because of how much I've played and learned from this game. But, you know, whether you discovered this series through like memes or YouTubers, like one thing is for sure, in my opinion, this is like one of the most legendary comebacks in gaming history, at least for this genre of games, you know? It's been 10, 15 years, I don't know, it's somewhere in between that fine line of how long it's actually been since a game has come out. But, you know, honestly, I'm fine with it. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, subscribe for more Skate content, please. This is, again, my first video doing this. I would love it if you could engage as much as you can with it. And in the comments, tell me, where were you when Skate 4 was finally announced? Peace.